Okay, so by now, you know I don't really like theory, but I do want to walk through a little bit of theory about what skills are, how they're structured, and a few more details around that, just because we're going to be talking so much about skills and about Claude and about everything that I really want to make sure that you have at least a fundamental understanding of what it is so that whenever I start diving into the actual actionable things, you don't feel completely lost. So I want to go through a guide to building Claude skills from Claude, from Anthropic, from the company. It is for developers, but it's very useful for us as well. So I'm going to share my screen, and they actually have some good analogies in here as well. So it's from Claude, from themselves, and it's about building skills. So what skills are planning and design, etc. Now, this, as I said, is for developers. So they built it for companies that have their own MCP in the App Store. They have their own, tool connector inside the Cloud App Store. But it's very useful for us as well because it talks about what they are structured. So I'm going to actually put this side by side with a skill that we're building for this course. You can see what each of those things are. Here we go. So this is one of the skills that we are making in this course. And as you can see, a skill, and in this case, they're talking about a folder, is a folder containing the skill, which is this file right here. And then scripts, reference, etc. As you can see, all of these are optional. And in this course, we are building skills that are, let's say, one pages. They are one file, right? Now, you can make it more advanced. You can have folders with skills in it, and you could say, okay, here's the skill, and if you need to run a script, you can find it here. You can really think of it as a Google Drive structure or a Windows folder structure where you have a folder that is, for example, called skill. As you click into it, there is a README document, and that is the skill. And then there are multiple folders, optional folders in there that you can then click. And within each folder, there are other resources that are relevant to that skill. If it's a design skill, it could be that the fonts are in there, or the colors that should be used, that type of thing. In our case, we're doing everything on one page because we can. It makes it a lot easier, and these skills as is are more than good enough. Also, not to get too technical here, but research has been done that if you're working with AI, to have everything just front loaded, so have everything in one file, AI reads the one file and then takes action. That has a much higher success rate than telling AI, okay, here are a lot of different files and folders and things, and you pick the right one and then take action. It's a lot more accurate to go with the load everything up front version, which also sort of applies here. So we have the skill here, and then looking at the core design of that skill. So a skill being something that we tell AI how to do. It should have a description. So here's the description of what this is. And what is very important is that this part is what the AI will always read first. So whenever you say something, you say, hey, I would like to do this. It will go through all your skills and read this part to determine whether they should use that skill, if it's relevant for them. So the easier and the clearer we make that description, the easier it is for AI to actually find what it is that we're looking for. Because we have this in here, because the way we are structuring our skills is by using these commands, we are first of all making sure that it always gets the right one, so it never gets the wrong one, which is very helpful, that we know exactly which agents or tools we can call, and that we are just making AI work for us as efficiently as possible, right? And that is something that's obviously very important as well. So that's why we're using this, so that whenever AI jumps into these files and into these skills, it knows exactly what it is that we're looking for. So then after that, there's this skill body. So this is the actual, the core text explaining exactly what it is, what it should be doing, what it should not be doing, etc. Right. So this is the skill. all the text below the description right here is the actual skill, so that AI can go in there and say, you know what, yes, I need this one. Let me read it. Okay, I can do that. And then it will take action. So that's how you should be looking at skills. The exact same way as if you run a business or an agency, you've probably heard of SOPs, where it's basically just a description of, imagine there's a new employee and you tell them, okay, if you want to perform this task, then here's clearly outlined how you should be doing it, what we expect the output to look like. With AI, it works exactly the same. Just instead of SOPs, they are called skills. So that's that. And then there's the linked files, so additional files bundled. So again, that's where it starts navigating. So we have the skill, and by the end of the skill, we could say, okay, this is called email copywriting. If you want to see examples, you can go to that file. So you can link out to different files. We don't really do that here because, as I said, we want to keep things clean and clear for AI as well. And we're not building something super complex, so we don't have to. But there's the option to say, okay, I'm going to link these different skills together, and we're going to do one example of that in this course, just to show you what that looks like and just to walk you through those steps as well. So you have that option as well. So that is a bit of a fundamental understanding of skills. I'm going to attach this deck right here, as well as a more basic description they have on their website to this course, so you can do some homework just for you to understand what skills are, how they work, etc. So as I said, I don't want to get too much into theory, but it is pretty important that you have that understanding of theory. I'm trying not to repeat myself too much here, but I do really want you to have that understanding, so you're not going completely blank, and maybe getting a bit confused.